It's time for another double dose of reviews with coincidentally a hearty helping of double D's. Dodgeball Academia is a sports RPG, while Dreamscaper is a roguelike action RPG. I reviewed both on Nintendo Switch. Let's begin first with Dodgeball Academia. It's like a mashup of the Pokemon games and the My Hero Academia anime. Otto, the main character, is a new student at a school that prioritizes its love of dodgeball above all else. It's full of quirky characters with superpowers, and the writing is really great for those that have a punny bone. The best thing from the start is the art style. One of my favorite shows from the last couple of years from Cartoon Network was OKKO. This game has a similar art style and chill but over-the-top vibe that really sings to me. The animations are just so dang gorgeous, and this is especially true given that the backgrounds are fully polygonal in a low-res sort of way. This makes the character art pop even more. As for the gameplay, it's an action RPG wherein running into another student will cause a battle to start. The music intro and the way in which battles start is very Pokemon-y, if I could coin a term. It may look like an ordinary dodgeball match, but there is so much going on in each challenge. For those that aren't as skilled at sports games, there is a damage meter you can turn up or down at your leisure. More games should have accessibility options like these. I really can't say enough good things about it. Dodgeball Academia was a true surprise. It's a little long-winded at times, and it takes a while to get away from the school to expand into other areas. Also, the multiplayer is pretty lackluster, and co-op for the campaign would have gone a long way, but that is absent. So other than those couple of gripes, I absolutely loved the game. Next up we have Dreamscaper, which is an action roguelike RPG, just to reiterate. You're Cassidy, who somehow has the ability to go into a dream world at night. This premise blends nicely with the aesthetic, as it is a watercolor work of art. It actually looks like it could have been made in the PS4 game Dreams. So while you're in this dream dungeon, you fight through hordes of monsters, collect items and power-ups, beat a boss, and then move on. If you die, you only lose power-ups in the dungeon and the in-dungeon cache. No materials used for upgrading Cassidy are ever lost. Every time you come back, you have to fight the same dungeon, albeit rearranged. Thankfully, if a boss is beaten, it then becomes optional, which is nice above other roguelikes like Hades or Dead Cells that always have bosses resurrect. Now, in death, you return to reality. The real world is where you upgrade Cassidy at various locations. The park, for example, has her meditate in order to boost stats like health. Also in these areas are NPCs that Cassidy can befriend. Doing so will unlock these characters as sort of equipable boons. It's kind of like the social link system in Persona 5. There is also an option called Lucid Mode, which boosts Cassidy's defense stats further as sort of an easy mode for the game for those really struggling. It's not as good as the accessibility options in Dodgeball Academia, but it's still nice to see the effort. Dreamscaper is a cool game to play in and to look at, with great powers and weapons. Combat can feel stiff though if I'd had to complain about something, and the camera angle doesn't help with that. Also, no faces on the characters make this game feel like a nightmare at times, especially since these characters don't have voices. And that, as they say, is that. Both games are great on Switch, with Dodgeball Academia being the real standout of the two. It's one of the most unique RPG/sports games I've played in years, and Dreamscaper is another roguelike, true, but a good roguelike at that. Overall, I am pleased as punch with both of these experiences. Did you like that video? If you did, please like, subscribe, and spread the good word of ReActionExaminer. If you want to read more of my stuff, you can find a plethora of my articles over at TheGamer and Game Rant. All of those links and more are in the show notes below. Thanks for watching!